This ain't right. This is not right.
It's already incredibly weird to try and use the very low age of consent law in Kentucky.
Damn, Sasha is schizo. Let's say there's a guy called Tyrone Big, okay?
The man performing the massage on Alice touches her with his thumb. Alice informs Lily, I think she's drunk when she's writing this because the grammar just like went out the window. This is what Sasha looks like.
Come on. So Keffals, you know, obviously we all know Keffals. She actually did a fairly good video, maybe some disagreements at points, but she basically laid out a case about this person called Sasha, who goes by the name, I'm on Twitch, Goated T-slur, literally the T-slur spelled out, okay? And she's gone by Mummy Big Dick before and other names as well, okay? Now, in this video, they laid out a case of claims that Sasha, I think it was like sexual assault, they called them a rapist as well, I believe, okay? Right? Now, in this video, there was testimony from one person that was, you know, at first I was like, okay, I can understand where this person's coming from, but it just got more kind of absurd as it went on. And basically what they claimed was that they'd gotten to this Sasha's person house. They'd said they were willing to do things, but upon seeing them, they didn't look like their photos. So they decided they didn't want to do certain things, but didn't voice that to them. And I'd say that probably the worst thing that was said was that the Sasha person had asked if they could do a sex act and they'd frozen and hadn't responded, and Sasha had continued to do it anyway, even though they didn't get like an affirmative response. That was probably like the worst thing that was claimed. But you know, I don't know if I was like totally convinced by what was said, only because this person made a number of like mistakes that kind of, they sounded like they were just short about something. But yeah, it was a bit like, I don't know, I'm not sure about this one. But then on top of that as well, Sasha's actions were very suspicious because there was a video that she released in response to these allegations where she was like, you know when you get a feeling that someone's being dishonest about something? It was kind of like that. They were kind of like giving excessive elaborations about their story that didn't seem necessary. They were acting in this kind of false, exacerbated way, which was suspicious. And some of the threads where they responded were also dubious too in terms of the way they went about it, you know? The response videos were very questionable, and it was like, this person doesn't really seem like they're telling the truth, or that they do have something to hide, but obviously, again, not conclusive, right? Okay. And then later, the Hail Mary play from the video, which was pretty good, is another person had claimed that Sasha had assaulted them and had then like done weird stalking and harassing of them. And again, whilst the assault really wasn't discussed at length, what Keffals managed to demonstrate is that it's very likely that there was a picture that was sent from an alt number from, you know, allegedly from Sasha to this person. And it was like, I'm in your town, like, and we're trying to intimidate the person basically. And they managed to, you know, within like pretty good certainty show that the car that was being driven in the picture was the same car that Sasha drives. So I'm pretty confident that Sasha did indeed send this picture from an alt number to someone to try and freak them out, right? So it seems like at the very least, it's very likely Sasha's a total fucking schizo that does weird shit like that. Whether or not they're a rapist, I mean, I don't really know if there's enough presented for me to kind of say, yeah, I'd agree with that. But certainly there was adequate shown to show that Sasha's a kind of weird schizo that will harass people with alt numbers and send them pictures to freak them out and stuff like that, you know? That was my takeaway from the video anyway, just to kind of summarize it. But obviously, it's on Keffals' channel if you want to go and watch it. And actually, to Keffals' credit, it was actually fairly well laid out. Like Keffals, you know, I disagree with some of her conclusions, but like, it was a pretty well laid out video, and it's just kind of there for you to judge what you think about it, really. Obviously, all the lefties immediately decided that this person was guilty of whatever they were accused of. But I think even scrutinizing the claims, I think that the final claim is pretty substantive. Anyway, Keffals has now gone on to release the Sasha Manifesto. So let's have a look and see what this is all about. I'm excited for this one. And again, this is like, there's a term that trans people use, which is brick. And Brick is a trans person will often use that to refer to another trans person that doesn't pass very well. And I've heard that word bandied about for this Sasha person. So the basic claim they're making is they don't pass very well. Why it is that now it's okay to question whether or not a trans person passes, I guess we'll find out. My presumption would be, well, because they're accused of being a rapist, it's okay to question their passing or something. I think that's what someone said earlier. But let's see. Let's find out.
Things have escalated quite a bit. So if you aren't caught up with everything that's going on, I would recommend watching the most recent upload on this channel. There's quite a bit to cover, and today I'm going to be talking about what happened after that stream. As well, I have gotten a hold of Sasha's manifesto, and I'm going to be reading it on this stream. I want to start off by thanking you all. After the stream, I got this message from Tally. I watched your stream today, and it was immensely powerful and validating. I'm slowly starting to validate my own self and not put myself down and my own self-worth. Thank you for making me feel like I'm not crazy. We took someone who felt incredibly disempowered and made them feel like they had control over their own narrative after a really traumatic...
Yeah, I mean, I think that this Tally person, based on the way she spoke, made mistakes, some pretty big mistakes in how she dealt with it. Like, she could have left at one point and she didn't. She didn't make it clear that she didn't want to do certain things. But, like, the way they were speaking, like, clearly they felt something had happened, you know? And whilst I think that obviously they made some pretty key mistakes, I can imagine a world where they turn up to this person's house, they look nothing like the photos, and then they feel a bit trapped. But then some of that is, to me, is also going to be down to, you know, if they try and speak out about it, they're probably going to like get fucked with by progressives for being transphobic. But now apparently, yeah, we can go nuts, and if someone is apparently a rapist, we can question whether they pass or not. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Incident, and I want to thank you all for doing that for her. It's really powerful. I love the fact that we can come together as a community in order to do that. I want to go over Sasha's response. I'm going to show you the DMs I got because Sasha unblocked me. She unblocked me on Twitter to send me this.
Oh.
Look, I can take you to court too if that's what you want. I got no qualms, and I've actually got a lawyer this time. You still out of the United States? You're playing with fire, and not in the type of what you usually do.
Okay. This is the other thing as well, is that this Sasha person, whenever someone talks about her in a certain way, they are extremely offensively litigious, if you see what I mean. They immediately are in DMs and are like throwing legal weight around in ways that, like, I understand you might want to like push back if you feel you're being defamed in some way, but to immediately go and start threatening legal action, that doesn't sit right with me. That doesn't really sit right with me. And it doesn't, do you know what I mean? It's like I've got this gut feeling like there's something amiss about this. Not Sasha Grey, no. Sasha's like a trans porn person on Twitter. But, you know, by all means, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. But the idea that someone would just immediately jump to DMs and start threatening to take people to the court, it just reminds me of situations where people try and invoke the legal system as a threat to try and like protect themselves from like, do you know what I mean? It's just doesn't sit right with me. Let's leave it at that.
For the record, for people who don't know, I have never lived in the United States. I currently live in Ireland. I was born in Canada. I digress. It continues. You rely on this website, not just for money, but your ego. Because outside of here, what are you? Nothing. You're just another transgender like me. Look, I'll even give you something you can add to your video. All of Keffals stands smell like soup mix. Show
like this ain't right. This is not right. This is not the action of someone, to me, who is like just innocent and desperately trying to prove their innocence. Like, to go on the attack like this, it comes across as very aggressive and schizo. And if someone genuinely was defaming you, you would just speak to a lawyer. A lawyer would not say to you, oh, go and send them a bunch of DMs and shit on them in DMs. They'd say, okay, don't say anything. Contact them about sending them a cease and desist or whatever the case may be, right? The idea that you go into their DMs and start trying to insult them and their viewers and stuff is kind of crazy to me.
them I said that. It'll be really funny. Show them I said that. Everyone who watches Keffals smells like Lipton soup mix. So I'm very sorry, everyone. However, despite her playing it off like none of this bothered her, she's actually been turning on her own friends. So this is a black screen because I pressed the wrong button on my stream deck. This is what she said this is a Twitter group chat that she made for her friends. And she said in the Twitter group chat, someone in this chat leaked to you-know-who. So yeah, excuse me for not exactly feeling comfortable being in here, lol. Anyways, switching back to my main, bye. She follows up by saying, anyways, think I'm a bounce. This chat ain't great for my mental health. Peace. She's also locked her Twitter account. Something that was really interesting to me about this entire situation was...
Oh, sorry, there's another thing. I don't know if Keffals is going to go into this. Another thing that Sasha did is she tweeted something out that says something like, how is what Keffals does any different to Kiwi Farms? And on the one hand, I was like, well, some of the detective work was a little bit like what Kiwi Farms might do, bar the doxing, obviously. So maybe there's a point there. But that also comes across as not actually engaging with the criticism of what Keffal's saying. It's, oh, the person, it's like kind of like trying to smear the person that's coming after you, right? Why is that person's acting like the thing they don't like? Isn't that funny? You know, there's just lots of behavior from Sasha that, to me, comes across as pointing in a certain direction, and that direction is not completely innocent. That's not to say that they're guilty of everything they've possibly done, but there's definitely some obfuscation, I think, that's being engaged in here.
Because she didn't have many defenders, but of the few people, and when I say few, I mean at least 6. I did not see more than like 6 people defending her. But one of them stood out far more than the others. So Sasha liked this tweet from Aaron Green. Keffals and making slander videos about other trans women. Name a more frustrating pair. Now, why is that important? So if you haven't been around my community, you probably haven't been...
Oh, yeah. I think this Aaron person sent me a friend request on Discord the other day. I've heard about this Aaron person. They had some allegations drop against them. I never really looked into it or ever meaningfully engaged what the allegations were. I think I maybe read about it or heard about it somewhere. But they're someone who, you know, at the very least amongst the sort of trans community is considered to be broadly like a bad person that's done some bad stuff. How true that is or not, obviously I can't really speak on, but...
familiarized with Aaron Green. So I have a clip from an old stream that I did where I went over this so I can bring you all up to speed on the type of people who are currently defending Sasha. So this was the thread. Aaron said, okay, let's talk. When I was 21, 11 years ago, I engaged in a consensual sexual relationship with Lux, at the time 16. We lived in Kentucky, and the age of consent there was, and still is, 16. We were friends and did this as friends. We did not have a romantic relationship. So it's already incredibly weird to try and use the very low age of consent law in Kentucky as some sort of justification for having sex with a minor. But keep in mind the age 16, because that's incredibly important with what I'm about to show you. So this is a thread with a leaked audio recording between Aaron and Aaron's grooming victim. All right, enough. Let's talk about Aaron. Aaron has moved back in with her victim, Lux, by refusing to sign off on the lease. This is just one of a string of ways she has tried to silence them. Right now, Aaron is gearing up to move on from this, but we cannot let that happen. From a platform of 7,000 people, she has the time and resources to select and groom her next victim. When Aaron met Lux, Lux was only 15 and Aaron was 21. Aaron would pick them up from their high school to have sex. Here is a recorded audio confession of Aaron saying as much.
Why did you have sex with me when I was 15?
I didn't have sex with you when you were 15.
I have proof of that.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Why do you think I don't?
Because I didn't do it.
What do you mean? You didn't do it.
I didn't have sex with you when you were 15. No, I didn't.
All right, so, and when I was 16 as well?
Yeah, when you were 16, yeah.
But also when I was 15, and I have proof of this.
No.
Do you remember that drawing that I did that you threw away? That painting? That was painted in 2011. I was 15 years old. I have pictures of us that I took on my 3DS of inside of the Double Dragon when I was 15. Our sexual relationship started immediately as soon as that happened.
No.
Yes, it did.
No, I didn't even come to Louisville until I was able to buy alcohol.
You were 21 when I was 15.
Yeah.
If you do the math, in 2011, 21 and 15. Yep.
No, look.
Yes.
Listen.
September 7th, 2011. I have a picture. And I have message logs because it turns out Facebook lets you archive everything.
So if you remember in the original thread, it said that Lux was 16 years old in 2011. But here Lux is saying that that's not true. Lux was 15. And furthermore, if Aaron was picking...
This person, well, that's the claim that's made. It seems like the Aaron person is trying to deny that. Again, you know, this is stuff I'm not well versed in any of this. I don't know what the response to this was. I don't know, what was that thing that was brought up? Is the legal age of consent 16? Anyway, I don't want to fucking get too into this side thing. This is more about that Sasha person.
Lux up from school and forming a relationship at the age of 15 before having sex at the age of 16, Aaron was grooming Lux, regardless if they had sex under the age of consent in Kentucky or not.
Even deleted profiles.
I guess the point that's being made is that they knew each other before they were 16 when they were 15. And I guess the argument is then that Aaron was like grooming them so that they could then have sex with them when they were 16 and legal, right? I guess that's the kind of claim that's being made. Anyway, like I said, let's not get bogged down in this.
I have proof. I talked to Bryce about it. I have Siobhan as a witness. This was before I had my lip piercing.
You think this isn't coercion? This holding this over my head?
You don't think that this has anything to do with the extent of our relationship, the way you've treated me, the way you used me, the way you've manipulated me?
Lux,
the way you just admitted that.
I don't think everything is the root of that. No, I don't. I don't think our relationship here, since 2020, I don't think any of that had anything to do with who we were before.
This was just me letting you all know the type of people that Sasha is being defended by. I just wanted to get everyone up to speed because it's been a long time since I've had to talk about Aaron Green. So one of the things that Sasha said was, okay, I just want to know genuinely, what's the difference between what Keffals is doing with her platform and Kiwi Farms? They literally do the same thing. She's being exposed right now because of the multiple allegations of sexual abuse, and she's considering this on par with people who dox people for fun. This was one of the last posts that Sasha made before locking her account. I'm deleting the app for a couple days. Gonna deal with this the proper way. Now, you might be asking, what is the proper way, Sasha? Well, this is where Xanderhal comes in. This was sent to Xanderhal.
Oh.
Hey, quick question. What's it like living in Palm Springs? And this has been redacted,
no
your
way!
Mom? Because I know Alana
That's
is your
wild.
ex. Anyways, you'd be saving me time by telling me which of these is your address, just so the process server knows where to go.
Oh my god. Damn, Sasha is fucking schizo. Sasha is a schizo. Look, hey, what did I tell you in the last video? What did I say before I started covering this, right? I said, not sure about this rape shit exactly, but they're definitely a fucking schizo who does crazy shit. And now they're fucking sending docs to people. Oh, is this you? So I can send you the right info. Come on, that's nuts. Listen, me and Xander, okay, obviously you don't see eye to eye anymore. But Eva, I don't think you should be... I obviously don't think it's reasonable to be sending people with their address to try and freak them out.
Personally, I think it's the 2500 address, because it says here that your ex lives there, or at least she's receiving mail there. How do I know it's your ex? Well, silly, you posted her criminal record a year ago. Sasha replies, again, it's cool if you don't tell me though. I can just have them go to both addresses. So yeah, expect papers to be served to you. And then she did a little cat face. Xanderhal responds, all good. Neither of those are my address, and if you're serving me, they'll be able to find it. Gonna post you trying to dox my family and shit though, looking real innocent. I will obviously not be providing a stranger who has a history of stalking and sending death threats my address. And Sasha replies, lol, how am I doxing you? I'm not publishing your private info on social media. Post whatever you want, bro. Gonna have to answer to the...
So, whilst it's true that, like, it's not being publicized, if you're sending someone, you're like trying to figure out, oh, is this your address? And you're sending it directly to them in DMs like this, that's a kind of like, that's like a bit of a threat, isn't it? Like, you know, that's like, you're threatening them. You're basically, even if you're not explicitly saying it, you're saying, oh, I've got your docs, I've got your docs, I've got your docs, you know? So there's definitely like a threat built in to do that activity. Yeah, it seems to be pretty clearly to be like some sort of threat, yeah. Or I'm not putting it online though, I'm just saying to you that I know you've got, so you know I've got it.
judge. We're getting to the point where Sasha is clearly trying to engage in intimidation tactics.
Yes.
Keep in mind, she has sent me legal threats. She has sent Xan legal threats. She does this to literally every single person who has anything negative to say. It's not a serious legal threat. It's always a way to intimidate people into silence. I want to show you all Sasha's manifesto. So on Friday, May 26th, and this came up in the last stream I did on this topic, she said, "You evil little lying cunt. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm getting a lawyer. This is called defamation, and it's very fucking illegal." The next message was on Monday, June 5th. Let me show you what this video is.
Oh, that's cute. You think you can just come back to Twitter? Look at this. I'm on page 27 of this. I'm taking my time. Got screenshots and everything. Look at this. Look at this, baby. Look at that. Ooh, look at those right there. Look at that.
Okay, no, it's covered up. It's covered up. It's covered up. We're fine. We're fine.
This is good shit. You said that. You said that. You said that. This is good shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know I'm not even halfway done. I'm not even halfway done. This is amazing. I love it. I've gotten so much information. Yeah. So, yeah, don't think I'm done. I'm not done, baby. No. I'm taking my time on you.
God, this person is insane. You know, it could be that they do have strong evidence, maybe in those DMs or something, that there was more consent than than maybe has been revealed or something. But even then, it's still a very schizo thing to do. Oh, yeah, I'm only just getting started. I'm going to take my time with this. God damn it, man. Very creepy, very weird, very odd. Also combined with some of the other shit that this Sasha person is doing. It's like, yeah, it is like the Joker. It's like the trans Joker.
I'm taking my time on you.
Let's see what the manifesto was. I have never read it in full up till this point. Introduction. My name is Sasha Morgan Matlock, and I am a trans woman. Using your full name like that is villain shit, but I digress. Let's get back into it. I am also a sex worker. I am seeking a restraining order against Lily Real and Tally White. On May 26, both of them went to Twitter in order to defame me because I am their competition in the market. Both of them claimed that I raped them, but neither of them went to the officials or tried to handle a rape case as it should be. Why? Because I never raped Lily or Tally. I have texts that show we were consensually intimate. Neither of them filed a police report for rape of any kind. I am not a sexual predator. This is the result of an ongoing feud between Lily and I that started a couple months ago. My history...
Is Keffals trying to be relevant again? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even know. I think Keffals is just putting this out there. I think part of it is because she's got this grudge with this Sasha person. But, like, the information she's putting out, on the whole, is pretty good. I think that, I don't know if I agree with all of her conclusions or some of it. But, like, the core information she's putting out and some of the information that shows how schizo she's being is kind of undeniable, really, you know?
with Lily. When Lily and I met up, we had sex. It was consensual, despite Lily pressuring me into receiving anal sex. I found a good article from a domestic abuse shelter, and I want to go over it, because I think it shines a light on the kind of behavior that we see repeating constantly whenever we talk about Sasha. We've talked before about how survivors get arrested or even charged with domestic violence after they're the ones who call the police for help. We've also talked about how abusers can gain sympathy from friends and family when they manipulate the story to make those outside the relationship think the survivor is the crazy one. In these frustrating situations, a tactic called DARVO, or deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender, may be utilized. It's a way abusers or others, such as law enforcement or the judicial...
It gets overused. Maybe it's relevant here. I don't fucking know. I'm not a psychologist or whatever, okay? I skipped through it and I saw the Darvo thing. I literally just scanned over it and was like, oh, they talk about Darvo. And then I saw the bit at the end, which is going over the differences between the images, which is the transphobic bit that I can't wait to get to.
Judicial system might redirect blame, taking attention off of the perpetrator while accusing a victim of being the actual abusive partner. So what is DARVO? Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender is a 3-step method of twisting accountability. Originally coined by psychology researcher Jennifer Freyd, the DARVO process can look something like this. The first step, deny. The abuser vehemently denies the survivor's account of what happened. This can involve gaslighting the survivor to make the survivor doubt their memory of the events. The survivor may begin to question whether or not they're blowing it out of proportion, as the abuser continues to minimize what they remember happening. 2. Attack. The abuser shifts the focus to the survivor's credibility and whether or not others, including law enforcement, should believe them. This could include bringing up past indiscretions, real or fabricated in the survivor's past, questioning the survivor's mental health, accusing the survivor of abusing drugs or alcohol, or asserting the survivor is the abusive one, when really the survivor was reacting to the abuse being inflicted. The abuser may even insinuate that the survivor wanted what happened, or that because the couple is married, the abuser couldn't have possibly sexually assaulted them. Not true, by the way. The end result can be that the survivor feels bullied or disparaged into staying quiet, or may feel some sense of abuse by their own fault. Trauma-related guilt is a liar. The third step of Darvo is reverse victim and offender. The final step of this twisted manipulation tactic is for the abuser to secure their title of victim and position the actual survivor as—
I think, okay, I know obviously it gets overused, but I do think it's a genuine concept. It obviously just gets overused a lot. But like, I mean, this Sasha person is clearly nuts in their actions. I just don't know either way what the truth of it is, so I can't really comment further. But I think they could be doing this, I guess. We'll find out. We'll see.
They might contend that the survivor has some vendetta to destroy them. They might say the survivor is lying in order to turn people against the abuser. Does this sound familiar to you? The survivor is lying in order to turn people against the abuser, become more popular, take away their children, or receive a larger divorce settlement. The abuser might claim they're a victim of the system. They may use their socioeconomic standing, race, or gender to support their claim. All the while, the survivor's actual disclosure of abuse is overshadowed, and the survivor will end up spending more time trying to defend her reputation than receiving help for the abuse. Now, unrelated to everything that we're talking about, if you find yourself in a relationship like this, please seek out help. There's a lot of shelters and there's a lot of crisis lines. In fact, this is from domestic—
Chud's attacks on OnlyFans girl make a lot of sense now. See, it's funny because it is, you know, obviously you lean into it and it's a meme or whatever. As you take it on the chin, you've got to. But this idea that I'm like some sort of rape apologist, don't believe women kind of guy is just absurd. Because there's times where I have looked at a story and gone, yeah, this seems like the woman probably is telling the truth about what's happened. You know, based on their actions, it seems pretty reasonable that's the case. But people just don't remember that or think about that. It's just when there's a case where it's pretty fucking obvious what's going on and you question that, that's obviously what people focus on, you know?
Shelters.org, which is a website that helps people find a shelter when they are the victim of domestic abuse. And Darvo is used in many different situations by abusive people in order to position themselves as the real victim and further victimize the actual victims, the people they are the perpetrators of harm of. So now that you all understand this, I'm going to go back to the manifesto. The first screenshot of text is from just before we had met. The texts that are from 2 weeks later when we stopped hanging out together. I had shared a picture with my friends of Lily and I hanging out together in her room. A few weeks later, Lily tells me she no longer wants to be intimate with me because she did not like that I told my friends about us hooking up. I wasn't aware that this would upset her, but I accepted her decision. At the time, I was already contemplating cutting off connections with Lily because of her abrasive personality and weirdly sexual behavior. And this is, again, flipping it on its head. And I had to stop here for a sec.
Bear in mind as well, this Lily person, like I said earlier, I don't know all the ins and outs of what allegedly happened with the Lily person, but Keffals showed pretty adequately in the last video that Sasha had an alternate tweet, an alternate mobile, ultimate cell phone number, and was messaging this Lily person from it, sending like harassing messages, including a picture of her driving a car. Like it did. That's pretty likely that was Sasha that did that, you know. So yeah, this person is definitely, there's there's a lot of credence to the idea that they're doing whatever the fuck it is Kev was just talking about here. But again, we'll see what else there is.
Because the weirdly sexual behavior bit is literally just a reversal of the actual role that Sasha has. Imagine for 1 second, you are getting accused.
Also, don't forget to support the stream. Any support's appreciated. If you sit and watch ads, that's appreciated. If you don't want to do that, fair enough. But if you want to avoid ads the legal way, consider subbing to me. Send some bits my way. Cold hard cash there. Text to speech is on.
Of sexual abuse.
See what you really
by
think about
people.
Keffals.
This is
but
all
don't be transphobic.
Coming to light, and people are starting to ask questions. And in the midst of all of these people asking questions, you start tweeting stuff out like begging my girlfriend to cage me so she's the only thing that can make me come. Just strange. This was live during the stream that I was doing. Her victims were on the stream. I'm very confused already with this manifesto. Because the history with Lily is they met up and had sex. The relationship dynamic is they are both sex workers. Lily tells me she no longer wants to be intimate with me because she did not like that I told my friends about us hooking up. I wasn't aware this would upset her, but I accepted her decision. At the time, I was already contemplating cutting off connections with Lily because of her abrasive personality and weirdly sexual behavior. When she ended things, I told her I felt a little confused and hurt, but assured her that my ego would heal. We agreed to stay as friends, but spent some time apart. A couple weeks later, we even talked about meeting for a hike. Lily was also excited about gaining a Twitter following because I had been retweeting her posts. Okay, thanks. I don't want to be sexual or physical again. I like you and I hope we can still hang out. It's nothing you did recently. Oh, did something happen? But as I'm meeting people, I'm finding out about how you were talking about me when you shared that pic of us in the group chat that first morning. I know it was before I told you not to, so I'm not mad or anything. Are you not going to bully me anymore? Don't think so. Would be awkward. Sad. Well, I honestly would want to still be friends and do like hikes and stuff. But I get it, you're not feeling it. I'll give you space, but let me know if you want to hang out again because I for real think you're cool. Yeah, I think I'm just going to need more space. K, I'll be fine. Removed you from chat. I'll add you again later, maybe? That's weird. So it's like, I don't want to have sex with you. Okay, I just removed you from my friend chat. That is strange. I'm sorry for putting you on blast with my friends. Isolating her because she doesn't want to have sex is incredibly strange. It's okay, you didn't know it was a boundary. It's not your fault I've been feeling icky. I've just been feeling icky. I need to listen to that for myself. I'm just surprised it would make you want to not be involved with me physically, I guess. But if that's what you want, I can't fault you. Sorry for making you feel violated. And by the way, if anyone's ever like, I don't want to have sex with you again, it's not okay to pressure them on the reason why. Don't do that. That's incredibly creepy and invasive behavior. So Sasha is responding to Lily. Just gonna need a little time to recalibrate.
The only problem with these messages is presumably this is obviously after the sexual encounters happened. I mean, I do think that Sasha is coming across as kind of aggressive. Like she's kind of coming across as aggressive here. The Lily person is being very softly. She's saying, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. I just, and this Sasha person's like, well, I've removed you from the phone group. Sorry I violated you and this sort of thing. There's lots of aggression here that I think seems unwarranted. But that being said, the fact that Lily is saying, oh, you haven't done anything wrong sexually, kind of doesn't help the case that she was indeed violated or raped or whatever. I can't remember exactly what the claim was that Lily made. But again, definitely some very odd, aggressive, unnecessarily aggressive behavior. If someone does not want to have sex with you anymore, I'm entitled to a reason. What if the reason is just don't feel like it? Like at some point, you need to accept that some people aren't just going to want to engage with you. I think if you're in a meaningful relationship with someone, it's unreasonable for someone to just cut you off without giving you any sort of explanation. But if someone says to you, oh, I don't really want to have sex anymore, and they're like, I just don't really want to, I don't know, you kind of got to accept that, no? Like, how much can you really push on that issue? It's like, yeah, if they don't want to, like if you're in a long-term relationship, yeah, maybe it might be more like, but then that's about splitting up, But if you're having casual sex and someone is like, I don't want to sleep with you anymore, to me, it's just like, okay. You might ask, like, any particular reason that I could, and they're like, no. Yeah.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
To leave it at that, I don't know. Hey, tier 3 sub. Thank you, Anamone. Thank you very much for the tier 3. That's very generous of you. Appreciate you. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Does anyone disagree? Oh, that was the Ryan Beard soy emote. Unfortunately, it needs more definition on the lines. I'm going to speak to Ryzek about doing some emotes for me, I think. Because Chud Soy Nod took a little while to come together. You can see the lines are a lot more defined. Anyway, by all means, chat. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Do you think if you're having a casual sexual relationship, no, saying they have to give you a long, drawn-out reason Why? And pressuring them to reconsider is pretty rapey and aggressive. Did they do that? Here. Okay. No, look, look, Keffals, listen, Keffals is a very savvy operator. She's very good at navigating these spaces and very good. So, I'm not on board. I'm not like, oh yeah, all is forgiven. The Keffals is based now. But, it's just a credit where credit is due case. After these issues with the drugs she's had, she seems to be fairly well put together. The way she's dealt with this has largely been decent, I think. Yeah. I don't, it's a credit where credit's due thing. I'm not going to sit here and shit on someone for other stuff when it's not really relevant to this anyway.
Right. I don't take rejection well, and I almost always internalize it, even if the other person assures me it isn't me or my appearances. I'll be fine. I find it strange that she says appearances here instead of appearance. But we know already that I think her entire online persona is heavily filtered. Like,
okay, so now we're getting to the transphobic part, okay? So that's Keffals saying that a trans person is using filters on the internet to make themselves look better. Am I like insane for being like, what the hell? Like, this is such a shock to me. I know there's like memes amongst the trans community about other trans people not passing, but this is the most explicit like expression of this stuff that I've seen, where it's like just questioning a trans person's real life appearance. Am I crazy, or is this like, oh my god, we can do this now, can we?
To a creepy degree, to the point where Tally said that she felt catfish because she had never seen Sasha without several layers of filtering. Keffals, how much of a difference can filters do? I mean, you can add filters to get rid of every wrinkle on your face. You can use Facetune to make your eyes bigger, to make your nose smaller. It's actually insane what you can do. And there's a reason why body dysmorphia and self-esteem issues is endemic among the youngest people who are growing up online, because this stuff is so commonplace now that people feel even more pressured to look perfect. Going back into this, here is Sasha saying, Lily informs me that she is starting online sex work. I thought this was strange because she said she used to be a coder at some company and made a lot of money doing that. She said she'd been laid off shortly before and was living off severance, paying $4,000 rent for her and her brothers. I thought it was a little strange because I certainly would not be able to afford that house with my small sex worker pay. Following this, I start to hear from my friends that Lily is doing some bad business practices. She made her way through my personal connections within the sex work field, gifting poor trans girls big expensive items like dresses and shoes before offering them a plane ticket out to see her and stay in her house. A lot of these girls live out in small towns across America, not a big city like Los Angeles. For the record here, Lily runs a modeling agency. This makes complete sense. She's literally running an agency for other women in this field. She knew that the gifts and plane tickets would be enticing to these young, poor trans sex workers. She routinely went after anyone who had more Twitter followers than her, but also ones that she was generally attracted to. At first, I didn't think too much of it. I thought maybe that this was just Lily trying to make friends and have fun while she looks for a coding job. However, I start to hear that she's doing some crooked business practices on some of my colleagues. Why is collaborating with hot and clouded people weird? She's treating this like it's a personal thing when this is literally a business. It makes complete sense that someone getting into the sex work field is networking, and someone who is running an agency would be scouting out for talent for that agency. Lily?
Yeah, this is the other part of this Sasha person's story that comes across as like quite schizo. And this is a big part of like her counterclaims against this other person that made allegations against her, was this concept that this Lily person has set up this elaborate sort of scheme against her and is like working to try and destroy her in some way. So I guess this is like leading into this. And I don't really see that. It's like, what is Lily doing here? It's like some sort of conspiracy against this Sasha person. Trandrew Tate
informs me via text that she signed to a porn agency. Next thing I know, a mutual friend and sex worker named Ruti flies into California from Europe and stays with Lily in her house. Ruti has over 200,000 followers on Twitter, 20 times the amount that Lily had, and certainly larger than my meager 15K. That's when it hit me. Lily stopped talking to me around the time she started talking to Ruti. She had used me to gain a small following and then traded up to someone else who was significantly more influential.
Okay, this just sounds like totally schizo. She used me for my followers and then got with someone. It just does. Is there any evidence for this claim that like she's trading up like this?
Influential. Yeah, what Annie's saying. She's only framing things through Twitter clout. She's connecting dots that don't exist. And she's treating this like this is all personal relationships instead of a job. Lily and Rudy do a collaboration together at the studio.
So bear in mind, this whole document is the Sasha person trying to defend themselves. Oh, hey, Maggot Edits, how's it going? And we hope you're well too. This is the Sasha person trying to defend themselves against these allegations against them. You know, this is the Sasha manifesto that they put together to try and clear their name of these allegations.
Belonging to her agency. Rumor was going around that Rudy had not been informed that the pictures and videos they had made together were going to be owned by the agency and not her. This was cause for alarm, and my suspicions about Lily grew stronger. I've recently talked to Rudy, and there's actually no issues here. Sasha just made this up. Following this, a colleague by the name of Ari contacted me. She told me that Lily had lied to her about her age. This is important to know because Sasha is 38 years old. When Sasha was asked her age by Sora, Sasha said that she was 29. And she told Tally that she was 33. She has consistently been lying about her age to multiple different people.
Let's go.
It's crazy. Yeah, so Sora's in chat, and Sora is confirming this. I don't know all the details. Like, I don't know if this was before or after the relationship, or if this was before or after any sort of sexual interaction took place, but the whole thing is fucking disturbing. Shortly after this, I see a picture on Twitter of Lily with another colleague named Mari. They were both in her bedroom. I contacted Mari and warned her about Lily's agency and told her they probably shouldn't do business together. Mari had already called off the collaborations, but she stays at Lily's house for a few more hours. Mari says that the experience was gross and uncomfortable. She states that Lily was trying to have sex with them the entire time. She also used an adult toy on herself next to Mari and Mari's girlfriend at the time, Esha, without their permission. She also attempted to take a shower with Esha, who denied her. Mari says that she had to come to see Ruti because they're online friends, but Lily uninvited them from hanging out with Ruti because Mari and Esha didn't have sex with Lily. So again, there's no confirmation on any of this. None of the people that she's mentioning have ever talked about this. I have talked to all of the people involved. Everything that she comes forward with is just reversal of the accusations against her, lying about their age, pushing people's boundaries. It's very obvious that she's just consistently using Darvo. It sounds like she's literally just taking Tally's accusations.
Oh yeah, there was another thing in that other Keffals video where the person had expressed to this Sasha person that they weren't comfortable with sexting, and Sasha continued to try and like soft push the sexting thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't like giga rape by any means, but it was certainly a pushing of a boundary, and the person had said pretty clearly they weren't interested in that kind of conversation.
Against her and projecting them onto Lily, which is really weird because I was in a call just the other day with both Tally and Daniela. Sasha is doing this thing where Daniela very much prefers to go by Daniela, but Sasha is adamant about calling her Lily as some sort of power play. So I'm going to try my best to continuously call her Daniela because that's what she wants to be called. At this time, Lily had 2 group chats filled with a bunch of my colleagues. One chat was sort of a catch-all for anyone Lily was remotely interested in, and another for the girls she had vetted. When word started getting around about the Mari situation, a bunch of my colleagues blocked Lily on Twitter and left her group chats. Her reputation on Twitter was effectively broken in half because of her own actions. She started to panic and message everyone, trying to get any information she could. I sent her a text saying I was glad everyone was seeing the kind of manipulator she is. She panics and turns her
Also, the other thing with this story from Sasha is it's very elaborate with a lot of details. I don't know what the truth of some of these claims are, because I've got no fucking clue either way. But it's a very elaborate tale with a lot of seemingly unnecessary detail. Again, that is often a sign when someone is being dishonest, where someone will include a lot of excessive detail that seems to go beyond what's needed to understand the situation.
Towards me. She starts trying to get anyone and everyone to turn against me, trying to get any information she could on me. Fortunately for me, I don't do bad business in sex work. This is from the same person who made the burner phone and then threatened to assault Daniela, taking pictures of herself driving to Daniela's house. Daniela had to get a restraining order against Sasha because of how intense she is. Making entire unhinged manifestos like this is just deranged. On May 24th, I make a tweet that can only be viewed by a limited amount of people I trust. In the tweet, I warn people about the ways Lily used me and other girls, and told sex workers to be wary of Lily's manipulative behavior and bad business practices. 2 days later, I posted screenshots of the same tweet to my story on Instagram. To further continue this story, I need to tell you another story that is connected to this. This gets into the next section. My history with Tally White. On May 9th, 2023, I messaged Tally White on her Twitter account. She is another trans sex worker. I asked where she lived, and she informed me that she was from Southern California. I told her that I am as well. We discussed possibly meeting up for a little date. At the time, I did not know that she was an OnlyFans sex worker. I found out that she was self-employed via OnlyFans like me. I suggested that we do a collaboration, and she agreed. I informed Tally that since she is a California sex worker, that I should probably inform her about Lily. I told Tally that Lily is known for being manipulative with other sex workers. I informed Tally everything I could about Lily. Tally said that this is the second time that she had heard about Lily being sexually devious and manipulative. Thank you so much for looking out for me and other people. I can understand why she'd be on your shit list. What she did to you and others and what she might do is not acceptable at all. Yeah, this is like the classic calling my ex crazy thing. It's funny because it's like, Tally didn't know anything about Daniela.
Thank you, appreciate it.
This is Sasha giving the first opinion of Daniela to Tally. So of course Tally's going to be like, thank you for telling me, thanks for warning me. But as Tally learned more about the situation, she soon realized just how manipulative and sociopathic Sasha is.
Yes,
so here are the screenshots on Discord of the conversation that I just read. In the days before she comes over, Tally and I discuss what our content is going to be. We shoot ideas back and forth between the both of us. We'd discussed having anal and oral sex.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'll read it out. So Tally says, "Oh my god, I really like the effort you're putting in on your end. Those outfits are cute. Anything you need on my end? Just you," Sasha said. So Tally responds, "Yes." And then Sasha says, "I have a closet full of stuff. Also, one thing I definitely want to do is make a video where you're in my lap, sucking my tits, and I'm jerking you off." And Tally says, "That sounds freaking amazing. To bounce off that perhaps a little, would you like to film penetration, oral, or both?" I hope everyone is aware of this. Consent can be revoked at any time. And Sasha...
Yeah, this idea, like, obviously, you know, you can have conversations with people that are very sexually charged, and when you meet up, it's like very different atmosphere, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't going to pan out quite how hoped. So yeah, you can talk a lot of talk in messages, but when it comes to fucking the act, it can be very different, right?
About her age, presents an incredibly filtered, distorted online image of what she looks like and is lying about who she is to everyone she engages with. So the consent that Tally was giving was to someone that didn't exist. That's the important part to remember. When Tally actually gets there, she's completely baffled because it's not the same person.
Right, so yeah. So she's consenting on the basis of the way someone looks. Based on reception of an online thing, but then gets there and it's different. But again, I mean, the story that this Tally person told they seemingly didn't express enough of a, you know. There was one moment, I think, where they claimed that they'd froze upon being asked to do something and they did it anyway without gaining like a hardline consent thing. This is a difficulty because, like, I can imagine what it's like. You turn up at someone's house, you plan this sex stuff, and then they look totally different, and you're feeling like, oh shit, but I plan to do all this sex stuff with them now. Oh man, it's tricky. On the one hand, I want to blame victims. On the other hand, I want to be transphobic, and I'm not sure which side is going to win out at the moment.
When Tally had sent these messages to Tasha, they hadn't met in person yet. So Tally says, "Awesome. I've never bought him personally and prefer topping. How does that sound? If you would like to top as well, I'm also open to the idea."
I'm okay with this standard as long as we apply it to guys who feel pressure to fuck fat girls off Tinder. Okay. All right.
Idea bottoming. Sasha says, "I'm totally okay with either." And Tally responds, "Great. I'll think of more ideas and shoot them your way. I understand where you're coming from." And this is Tally again. "I understand where you're coming from. I wear protection every time I have sexual contact with someone. My status is negative also." And Sasha says, "Same. Awesome. Yeah, if you're willing to wear a condom, even better." "Oh, absolutely. Safety comes first. I wouldn't be able to get tested. Results wouldn't be bad."
Why is it spelled like that? Oh my god.
For 2 weeks. It's also important to note, they are not talking about a personal sexual relationship. This is them talking about content. This reads like a breakup note, but it was never a personal relationship. These are two people working in the same line of work, which happens to be sex work. And that's fucking, it's really weird that she would respond. And this isn't about feeling good. This is about making content. This is about making money. So Sasha responding, I personally hate condoms and I could wear one if I top, but like, don't expect me to come, lol, 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 is a fucking weird thing to say when the entire thing that is framing this conversation is a business meeting. This is two people discussing, collaborating with the purpose of making content online to earn a living. That's very convenient. Is there anything else you'd like to share while we're on the topic of sexual health? And Sasha says, nah, I'm pretty good. Like, I don't have anything long term. How big are you, by the way? Oh my god. What the fuck? Tally responds,
Oh my
I think
god,
I'm like
based.
5 inches. And
Based! Okay. Right, Keffals' charm offensive is working on me, I've got to say. Fuck's sake, man.
Sasha says, okay, bet. Tally responds, you, and Sasha says, around the same. Just making sure you're not going to destroy me. Lol, 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 lol. And then Tally replies, ha ha ha, we should do a pic where we see who is bigger. Wait, what happened to Mommy Big Dick? This is Mommy Big Dick.
Wait, hold on. Wait, for real? Wait, she went by Mommy Big Dick online. I forgot. Okay.
Wait. What's this? What's happened here? Why is Xanderhal there? How did that happen? What is this editing about? I'm very confused. It's like a fucking Chris Nolan film now. What's going on?
Okay, all right. Sure. Hey, I mean, she's apparently known for digitally altering her photos, so okay.
Yeah, 5 inches, and she went by Mommy Big Dick. I gotta find Mommy Average Dick. I bet she's out there in the world. She's probably real humble about it. All right, so Sasha's saying, sorry, Discord hasn't been sending me notifs. Lol, when I bought him, I think I like both. Starting soft and sensual and then getting rough to finish it off. She's talking about, like, this is a personal sexual interaction rather than people working with each other. This is
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to see the point here, right? So this is supposed to be about business. But the way that Sasha is described, possibly it can be both. But like, talking about it in this kind of pleasurable way. Nah, I don't know. I think that Tally is engaging with this, and I think she's probably a bit naive. But she's engaging with this on the basis of it being like sex work, maybe reciprocating, maybe she thinks this is how it's done. But I think that sex workers discussing what they're going to do, I don't think they would necessarily have like quasi-sexting shit going on. I don't know. Actually, funnily enough, as much as I get a lot of stick for hating fucking sex workers, I actually know some sex workers. I know some trans sex workers. I should ask them and I should say, is this normal? Nah, there's something that... the way that Sasha moves is weird. I don't like the way that Sasha moves, okay? I'm sure you do. Listen, Creeman, okay? It's all innocent. It's nothing untoward, okay? I'm innocent. Anyway, the basic point I'm making is the way that Sasha's moving in this conversation makes me feel a bit weirded out in terms of like, yeah, why is she... I'm pretty sure most amateur sex workers are extremely unprofessional and constantly mix sexting and professional shit together. Yeah, but I feel like Sasha is like the person that does the OnlyFans stuff, and I believe Tally is maybe a bit wet behind the ears. It feels like Sasha's kind of leading it. Let's put it that way. That's my kind of rough read on this. We'll watch some more.
This is a very weird way to frame this. Because what it sounds like is Tally is trying to set this up to do content, not to form a personal relationship. The sex is transactional. They both expect to make money out of doing it. But the way that Sasha is replying to Tally in this situation shows that Sasha is thinking about her own personal sexual gratification. She's doing sex work to get laid. She's not doing sex work to earn a living. That's
I think Keffals might be onto something with this, you know. I think Keffals might be honest. I think that there might be some truth in that. Interesting theory. Yeah, yeah. Some people do the, but no. But if the other person is engaging with it on a seemingly more professional basis in their head, and she's seeing it as an opportunity to get laid, it's not that you have no. It's not that you have to hate having sex. It's like, okay, let's say I was a porn star. Okay, let's just do it this way. Okay, let's say I was a porn star and I was messaging a woman about doing a porn scene, and I was like, okay, so here's the plan. What we're going to do is we'll do. No, I don't want to use myself. It feels weird. I don't like sectionalizing myself. It's weird. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, let's do it differently. Okay, let's say there's a guy called Tyrone Bigcock. Okay, Tyrone Marcus Bigcock, and he's messaging a girl, and he's like, "Yeah, we're going to do a black scene, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a blowjob scene. We're going to transition into a missionary's perspective, and then we're going to go doggy style, and then you're going to ride me, and then we're going to transition to an anal scene, and then we'll do a facial shot to finish it off." Okay, that would be like business as usual, professional conversation, right? And that would be kind of an understandable way of interpreting how a sex worker might communicate with another sex worker about what they're going to do. Okay, but if it was like, oh, hey, babe, yeah. Oh, anyway, yeah. What do you like in bed? What turns you on? What really gets you going? Oh, do you like being spanked? Do you like being tied up? Da 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 da. Stuff like that. Like that would give a different context. And I think that in the professional world, I'd imagine that probably isn't how things are done and how things are discussed. But a naive person might engage with that thinking that's how it's done, where I'd presume that it's probably going to be more so a very matter-of-fact conversation about the nature of the scenes that you're going to shoot together, right? Also, this client black porn, and Queen, you want to talk, okay? You were very interested in the Hunter Avalone drama. Like I say, this is pure guesswork on my part. I don't actually know sex workers that well to like know if this is what they do and don't do. But I would presume that it's more understandable as a professional basis of discussing matter-of-factly the kind of scenes you're going to do. I would doubt that like the concept of what turns you on in a sexual way is going to be a part of the conversation, because really what relevance is that? Like sex for porn is a very mechanical thing. It's a very matter-of-fact, these are the scenes we're going to do to shoot that we want to shoot to get the maximum bang for our buck, right? I stripped and did cam work in the early days of Chatterbait. When I collabed, it was all, what are your boundaries? What is off limits? Are you clean? Here's my paperwork showing I'm clean. Here are terms and payments and profit splits. So, yeah, I mean, that to me sounds more professional. And this conversation does seem more like of a sexual nature, seemingly led by Sasha. And I don't know, I think that there's something in this idea that Sasha is using these interactions to fuck, as like, oh yeah, it's OnlyFans, but maybe she's using it as an opportunity to get laid.
Really weird, especially when earlier on in the same Unhinged manifesto, she's saying that it's weird that someone would do sex work despite having money. She obviously has money as the second priority and trying to get people to have sex with her as the first priority. So back onto the manifesto and what...
Yeah, nothing at all like this stuff turns me on. I like doing facials.
Sasha's saying. On May 15th, Tally comes over to my house. The collaboration...
The reason it matters is because if one party is talking about sex workers like, right, we're going to set up and do scenes and stuff like that, particularly if they're naive and they haven't done the kind of collabs before, but then the other person is not only dealing with the professional side, but mixing in this kind of like weird sexualization of what is going to sexually gratify them. It's like you're looking for something out of it that the other person isn't looking to give. That one side is looking for a professional transaction, the other side is looking for a personal sexual interaction, which the other party wouldn't necessarily agree to if it wasn't for porn.
Is very professional. After we took clothed pictures, we took pics with our bottoms off. We then took a couple of videos of us masturbating next to each other. I also took 3 videos.
Wait, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you had 2 restaurant owners negotiating or something and one was trying to be friends with the other, I'd find that unusual and I would find that like an odd thing to do. But obviously, it goes a step beyond when you're engaging in sexual acts with each other because you're doing something physical together that we accept has a, you know, a very different, I don't know what the right word is, but like, you know, it's very different to fuck someone than to negotiate over a contract for fucking selling peaches to each other or whatever.
Videos of me performing oral sex on her. All of this was consented to. I asked Tally for permission anytime I did anything. Tally did not consent to oral sex. She did not say yes. She didn't say anything. She froze, and oral sex initiated by Sasha without consent. After we made our content, I ordered a pizza and let her play Donkey Kong on my TV until around 1.
So, yeah, I referenced this earlier. That seems to be the biggest kind of claim made, that like it wasn't explicit consent.
In the morning. After that, we parted ways and she goes to her hotel room. Also, Sasha admitted she could tell Tally was unenthused at that point in time. Like,
Yeah, if the friendship thing is the bad example, this is a better one. Let's say 2 restaurant owners come to agreement to try out each other's food and give each other tips on how to improve the food. But one business owner secretly gets sexual, intimate, romantic gratification from the other eating their food. Yeah, and then was like trying to instigate something. Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know. But yeah, exactly. It's like there's a difference between having a professional interaction and then having a professional interaction when there's, you know, a sexual or romantic interest from the other side that isn't shared by the other person, right?
Sasha scolded Tally for being unenthusiastic about it and said, you need to look into the camera like you really want it, like pretend the camera is a hamburger. Probably one of the creepiest ways I could think of trying to like force someone to be enthusiastic about sex with someone they did not want to have sex with and did not consent to having sex with.
This just seems like a stupid... It's silly to pretend that sex work isn't naturally going to incur sexual feelings. That is completely... Do you think porn stars are there fucking some whore and they're like, oh, this is so sexy? No, it's all a fucking act, isn't it? It's all mechanical. You know, have you not seen a porn shoot behind the scenes? They're like fucking them, and then they stop and it's all just like they're at fucking work, you know? And then the fucking facial scene comes and they're jerking off and it's like sometimes they're like, oh my God, you know, it takes a while to do it and they need to, but they got to get the right shot and then, oh no, it's happening. Oh, quick, film it, boo. Like, all the stuff that gets edited out is all just like business as usual shit. But maybe not. I don't know. Prep the ball. Yeah, there's some women in the old school porn shoots that literally have to suck the guys off to keep them hard. The fluffer. Yeah, exactly. Freeman, you've seen E-Fight, you know what I'm talking about, right? What about the fucking gangbang ones where you got that little goober guy who is desperate to be in the gangbang and he's not very good at it, and there's some woman with her tits out and he's jerking off to her and shit. The goober dude, that's a classic. And one of them, he jizzes on the floor. And everyone's like, oh no, he did it. But then when he does it, and it's like the music kicks in. You know what I'm talking about.
Like if you're having sex and someone is obviously uncomfortable, you should not be saying, please look like you're into it. You should be saying, are you okay? Like, period. You should always be making sure that your partner, and I use a partner loosely because this is a business transaction, but sexual partner, regardless, you have to make sure that they are okay. In the following days, we posted the content we made to our respective social medias. Both of us were excited for the collaboration we had done. These text messages show that we had a good work relationship following our collaboration. So those pictures prove that Sasha lied in her initial response? Yeah, they said in her initial response, Sasha said, we never had sex. And here in this, performing oral sex. So she lied. Her initial tweet, she just fucking lied. It's just getting crazier, the amount of shit that she lies about. Lily contacts Alice again in early 2022. They talk about going shoe shopping together. Lily takes her to Nordstrom Rack and tries to get Alice to try on some expensive heels. Alice likes them, but she puts them back due to the price. Lily offers to buy the shoes for her. They're $350. Lily buys...
What did I miss? Sorry, I got what's going on?
The shoe, dude. It's just getting crazier, the amount of shit that she lies about. Lily contacts Alice again in early 2022. They talk about going shoe shopping together. Lily takes her to Nordstrom Rack and tries to get Alice to try on some expensive heels. Alice likes them, but she puts them back due to the price. Lily offers to buy the shoes for her. They're $350. Lily buys the shoes. So someone's asking who Alice is, and one of these pages is redacted, so we don't have the introduction. Lily buys the shoes and refers to buying Alice things as dom-topping her, calling Alice her little slut, and asks Alice to say, "I'm your little slut." Lily begins gifting Alice lots of things. Alice would try on clothes, and Lily insisted on watching her change. Lily asked to touch Alice's penis. Alice agrees reluctantly, thinking it would just be a touch. So here's something that's interesting to me. Why is this all coming out through Sasha when none of these people who are supposedly victims have ever actually spoken out? When I picked up this story, multiple people have already spoken out. So it just seems like she's creating narratives and doing Darvo in order to try and paint her victims as the perpetrators. Okay, wait, what? Holy shit, it gets real schizo.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, what, you know, Sasha's the one that is talking. Like, what is that they say? I mean, the Darvo thing's getting a bit cringe, sure, but like they say that like the victim should speak up about situations or whatever. But Sasha apparently knows all of this stuff and is talking about it. Yeah, why have none of the people involved spoken up about this and come out with allegations? You know, it does come across that Sasha is kind of stitching up this conspiracy of all these trans people doing stuff to kind of cover for herself. That's what it comes across as to me.
So on the next page, I'm gonna keep going through. Alice would try and close, and Lily insisted on watching her change. Notice how this is literally the accusation that Tally had made, that Sasha watched her shower and watched her go to the bathroom and wouldn't take her eyes off her. It's literally the same thing. Lily asks to touch Alice's penis. Lily agrees reluctantly, thinking it would be just a touch. Lily then spits in her hand and grabs Alice's penis and begins masturbating her. Alice doesn't know how to react to this, but she lets it continue. Lily begins to pressure Alice into having sex. Alice denies Lily, who begins...
Okay, this comes across as like, is Sasha getting off on writing this or something? Like these elaborate details. It sounds to me like Sasha's sat in fucking rock hard writing all this down. What's going on?
Begins to bargain for any kind of sexual act from Alice that she could get from her, such as, but not limited to, using sex toys on each other. Lily makes her way behind Alice and attempts to penetrate her without asking. Alice is alarmed by this and tells Lily to stop, but after more coercion, Alice allows Lily to penetrate her. After this, Alice wants to try and keep things as platonic as possible, because each of their sexual experiences had been filled with...
It is like fan fiction, and have any of these people independently come out about any of these claims too? Like, where? Surely these people would have said something to Keffals or said something publicly about this. What, you know, where are their stories? Why is it all coming out via Sasha, and why is it written like a fucking sexual fan fiction?
Coercion and manipulation. During a conversation at dinner, Lily mentions that she believes every human is a genocidal and pedophile. Every human is a genocidal
in my goon cave.
So this is apparently during a conversation, which completely catches Alice off guard. Lily starts loudly berating Alice over political opinions discussed over dinner. Lily loudly called Alice dumb in front of other people in a restaurant. After this, Lily takes Alice to a massage parlor at a strip mall. The man performing the massage on Alice touches her anus with his thumb. Alice informs Lily, who seems indifferent to this event. Lily says, "Yeah, this happens sometimes." Alice is shocked by Lily. "So you knew this would happen. You brought me here knowing they would touch me like that." Lily shrugs and acts as if there's nothing to worry about. Yeah, this is almost the exact same made-up accusation as the one she made against Sarah. She made up the accusation that Sarah, like, loudly got into...
So bear in mind what this document is supposed to be. Sasha is supposedly pushing back against the allegations that have been made against her. And now she's got this elaborate story about what these other trans people are doing together, written in this weird, overtly sexual way. Something ain't right here. Something's gone terribly wrong. We've gone off the fucking track somewhere.
Arguments about communism? Alice and Lily stop hanging out again for a while. Alice was too uncomfortable to be around. Lily, however, they meet again sometime in mid to late...
Please do not goon over this. No gooning. This is weird, okay? Enough.
22. I gotta say, at this point, it honestly... I think she's drunk when she's writing this because the grammar just like went out the window. When Alice went to Lily's place, 2 other girls were there that Alice didn't know and wasn't planning on hanging out with. The friends had been openly joking about hiding in Lily's closet and watching her have sex with Alice without her knowing. I'm sorry, this reads... I've literally read horny fan fictions that sound more real than this. After the 2 girls had left, Lily pressures Alice into having sex with her again. Prior to this, they had always used a condom before and never agreed to have sex without a condom. Alice allows Lily to penetrate her, assuming Lily would wear a condom just like she had done every time they had sex prior. Alice was under the impression that Lily was wearing a condom during the sex. But after she found out that Lily, in fact, did not wear a condom, Alice asks why Lily hadn't, and she replies that if Alice wanted her to wear a condom, she should have said something at the start of sex, despite previously agreeing to only having intercourse while wearing a condom.
Crazy.
Months later, Alice finds Lily...
I gotta be honest with you. Everything I'm seeing is making me lean more and more towards the idea that Sasha person is some sort of deranged fucking sex weirdo or something that probably did do some things that made people uncomfortable at the very least. They've definitely done some of the schizo shit they're accused of. This is nuts, man.
On Twitter shortly after her, and I had been involved. She notes that Lily was growing in followers on Twitter. It's crazy how much this is all centered on Twitter clout. Like, the entire thing starts off with Sasha being like, I am Sasha Morgan Matlock, and these bitches who are my direct competitors started talking to other people in the same industry as me in order to get clout because they want to succeed at their jobs. Holy shit. Following the Mari incident, Alice informs people about her experiences with Lily. Lily contacted Alice in early May to ask if Alice is telling people about their experiences together. Lily is afraid of Alice because she knows Alice carries a lot of secrets about her. Alice does not want Lily back in her life, and she's actively avoiding her online. Alice noticed that Lily told her, I don't care who I have to hurt in order to get what I want. Alice states that Lily seems to lack the ability to feel empathy for anyone. Again, Alice says that she is willing to be a character witness against Lily if needed. She lives in San Francisco, so it's a bit of a drive for her, but she is willing to be a witness regardless of distance. I also spoke with Esha, Mari's ex-girlfriend, about her experience with Lily. She was present at the time of Lily using the toy on herself in front of Mari. Okay, so Sasha says, hey, you said something about Lily trying to force her way into the shower with you, right? And Esha responds, was more suggestive and assumptuous than forceful. She didn't try to come in when I was in. She got in when I was trying to get in and suggested that I would be following her in. So it was more like trying to see what she could get away with. Like, what would you say that she was definitely not being professional or
Oh my god, leading question much? Jesus, it's quite clear it was like a kind of mistaken situation and Sasha's trying to make out like they were getting raped in the shower or something.
Respectful about it? This is literally her inventing a narrative. There is nothing in this text that actually...
Yeah, look, it was more suggestive and assumptuous and forceful. She didn't try to come in when I was in. She got in when I was trying to get in and suggested that I'll be following her in. Like, there's nothing in that that's like any... And Sasha's immediately trying to paint this narrative. Oh, so she wasn't a professional then. Leading question, Your Honor. Objection.
Suggests any sort of ill intent. Like, it sounds like a miscommunication that got immediately cleared up. This is also, yeah, it is kind of crazy. This is literally just what she did to Tally. Was the Joker laugh that she did in that video, what if I take all of the things that I did to you that you went public about and use it as accusations against you, literally flipping the script and doing Darvo? Because that seems to be what this is. Like, no one does that. No one...
Putting more accurate when I told her it wasn't going to happen, she did not continue to push for it. I didn't read it as disrespectful. I mostly read it as delusional. I'm not sure what professional even looks like in this context, considering the day prior when she just started fucking herself unprompted when Marinelle literally just chilling in the room. She never really tried to do to me what she's done to so many others. She initially DM'd me about and learned about me through Mary months back, and it was mostly unamused, and so she moved on. And by fucking herself, you mean using a toy. Yeah, she started filming and being performative while using it on herself. I don't know what I didn't look. Felt like she was trying to start an orgy with us. Kept trying to get married to watch her. Fucking hell, she does sound a bit crazy there. But experiences. Just once when it came over here, but it was mostly just a fly on the wall when she went detail about a few things. I don't remember what she said. It wasn't really my business. I'm absolutely not the focal point of any of this. I just happened to be there.
Puts together this entire manifesto and does this Joker laugh like, ha ha ha, I'm 27 pages, I'm not even done, baby.
The first rate review, I'm incredibly uncomfortable. What's happening to me? Well, the thing is, Tony, the reason you feel uncomfortable is it's all about different trans people and you're viciously transphobic. So that is likely why you feel that way about it.
All right, we're at the conclusion. Numerous people have come forward about Lily and Tally. They are attempting to flee the consequences of their actions, just as they've done before. What I hope to achieve from this is to clear my name and prevent Tally and Lily from further harassing and defaming
Mummy Big Dick raped you badly, Tony.
me. I wish to never see Lily and Tally ever again. I want to make sure they won't contact me or talk about me on the internet. This experience has ruined relationships of mine, both personal and business. These girls are a blight on my life, and I need to make sure they stay very far away from me. This has been a learning experience in the worst possible way. I have learned the importance of protecting myself in this line of work. Furthermore, I've learned not to trust someone just because we are in the same minority group. I think I've covered most of what I have to cover about the Sasha situation as it's unfolded. I think in conclusion to all of this, though, there's just so much. There's stuff that I haven't even talked about. All of the accusations are so intense that there are so many smaller little details that are still fucked up that I don't even know if I should bring them up. Like, for instance, I had someone come forward and say, like, thank you for shining a light on this. Sasha made me incredibly uncomfortable by sharing unsolicited nudes with me. And at the point where we're at with Sasha is making burner phone accounts and stalking people and driving to their house and sexually assaulting people, it's just insane. There's one last thing. I have an unfiltered photo of what Sasha actually looks like, and I want to show you all. Because Tally claimed when she showed up to Sasha's place, she felt catfished. And I actually managed to get a photo of what Sasha looks like when she's not behind like 100 layers of Snapchat filters. So, chat, this is a photo from Sasha's Twitter account. This is what Sasha looks like.
Come on. Come on, man. Are you serious? Come on. If I did that, I'd get in trouble. I'd get in loads of fucking trouble. But now it's alright, is it? Oh my god. Bro. Bruh. Gooning in my goon cave. Oh, hell no. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Big trouble. And I do not want to be in big trouble. Well, chat, don't be transphobic, obviously, but, you know, share your thoughts by all means. I believe I'm told on good authority that in this situation, a trans person may use the term hun in this circumstance.
The first thing that I noticed right away, Sasha has a cleft chin. If you notice the indentation in Sasha's chin, and then you go back to this, there's no cleft chin. It's the first indication that someone is using Facetune. The eyes are bigger, the nose is a different shape, the jaw is a lot more angular. Yeah, and if you're questioning whether or not it's a real photo, you can look at the tattoo on the arm. It's the same tattoo. She doesn't even know. I mean, the thing is,
Jesus Christ. Keffals is going into the paint on this one. Fuck me. Computer enhance. Oh. Pass maxing. Oh. Okay, listen guys, I don't want to be transphobic over here, okay? But like, what? What am I supposed to say? They look like different people. The first picture looks like, you know, somewhat like a woman. The second picture, redacted. I don't know, you know. I gotta say, you know, if you had that picture and then you turned up and they looked like the second thing, you'd be the second image, I should say. You'd be like, You'd literally do the Home Improvement sound. You would literally do that, wouldn't you? Come on, you would.
Is that it's so different. It adds validity. It adds validity to Tally's claim that Sasha is catfishing people. She's lying about her age. She's heavily filtering her appearance. There was a thing, like, do you remember the 5-minute clip? That was actually 6 different videos. The reason why it was 6 different videos is because whatever app that she's using in order to filter her face has a time limit on clips. There's no reason for her to do a Twitter thread that has 1 video for the first tweet and then like 5 follow-up tweets, 2 videos per tweet. It was really unhinged. Snapchat has a 1-minute limit. What CATFISH is saying. Look, I may not look like an e-girl, but I don't use any. There are no filters on my camera on this stream.
Gooning in my goon cave. I don't know. Keffals absolutely mogged that brick. Holy fuck. Anyway, can I say that? Look, I don't think that's like a bad thing to say. She's basically saying it. I'm just copying the trans person, okay? Fuck me. Play the song again. I mean, look, I'm largely on Keffals' side. I think, you know, I'm largely on Keffals' side in this. But I do think that, like, doing, oh, look, this is what they look like on the internet and this is what they look in real life. I understand why Keffals is doing it. She's trying to make the point of, like, look, this person is misrepresenting themselves, so people turn up and they don't look like they do in their photos. It's deceptive and it's like catfishing these people to engage in sex work with them. But there is on Kiwi Farms this thing where they do show the profile picture and then show them in the picture and they go, oh, look how different they look. Obviously, they say it in harsher terms than I, but yeah. You could say the same shit about a cis woman heavily editing their photos. But yeah, you can. But on the internet, if you say that about a cis woman, you might get some criticism. But saying it about a trans person, it is fucking over. You know, well, maybe it's not over so much, but, you know, if you care enough, it's over. People will not like that one bit. The idea of questioning a trans person's true appearance without the filters and shit like that is considered to be very bad form amongst progressives. But it feels now a bit like it's fair game because this person is accused of being a rapist or something. Again, I understand why Keffals is making the point. It's like, you know, well, did you have to really say it like that? I don't know. It's like what fucking conservative would do. But hey, maybe times are changing. Who knows?